Need crew love right now, cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. First I pull up, hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm two up right now. Two up right now.
Standing, look in the mirror, how could you face that? Mask on, don't even know where my face at. Plenty don't even know where waist at. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what, I'ma stay black. It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. Need more jewelry, what I tell myself as I'm writing my eulogy. Ask the mirror, how you put up with this foolery? In reply, how you put up with this song and dance, all this buffoonery. Long romance, death, what it do to me? Yamagini dream was a nightmare. He was dancing with the devil for his life, yeah. We all on the dance floor. Girl, come with a dance. Puerto Rican in the breathing heavy. Little had my looking daddy. Couldn't tell him nothing cause we lost him already. Cozy boy with his spaghetti. With the money and fame, the price come heavy. The price come heavy. Like Shaq attack up on a backboard. Coming back up on a backboard. When she asked me if I love her, I just act bored. Say loser, ask for it. Living movie, black.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. So with that, let's head over to the heart of Texas. Massive AT&T Stadium in Arlington. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point. But, boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. The New York Giants offensively, their starters, and one guy out wide to take a look at, Sterling Shepard.
A really mature man in every way coming out of Oklahoma. Personally and professionally. You can play him out wide, play him in the slot. He can return punts for you. He's a dynamic player.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Wide open receiver complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. And that one results in 35 yards. Sensational he was last week, over 200 yards. And the simple quote that we saw this week was, keep him in front of us. They're going to have to do that.
And when they say that, it means tackling him after the catch. Because once he makes the catch, you may catch it in front. But if you don't tackle him, he's behind you at that point, and that's how he racks up the big yardage.
Back to throw now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He's to the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Well, they ran the toss, trusting he had the speed to get to the edge, and he did.
And there really wasn't any doubt about that because the scouting report told you that this guy could flat out run. When you give him a little bit of space and a chance to get there, he usually does.
Point after, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And a long run there in the end to top it off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. Now, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hall. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you take it.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now they'll run on the ball. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Taking it about the 16. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And out now come the Cowboys. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Looking deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, You'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. On defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
Let's go!
And they'll run it here. And a belly to run. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
Well, apparently, they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he'll be brought down around the 7-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
He'll look to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And it bangs off the right upright. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound Brandon no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
Set, 3-19.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Clock rolling as the Giants will hurry to the line. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. There goes Sterling Shepard. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Throw left side complete. It's Hall. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Giants on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Let's go.
Someone moved, flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And his kick here is good. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustment.
And he's into the clear. The 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The extra point up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done.
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road. in just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Green 39! Green 39!
He'll drop to throw. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established.
Through an opening, and there he goes. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
No problem there on the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now let's go!
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
Looking to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Hall. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock. And you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a handoff looking right, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
Back to throw here. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. Back now in Arlington. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Defense.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless, take care of the ball on the way out.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. A great effort punching it in from a yard away. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Giants. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves.
Pressure from his run, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a magazine cover or 2.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top maybe, as this game goes forward. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Bowers. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch. but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. The extra point up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said,
and the ball is knocked out, and the Cowboys have recovered.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll set up to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Shepard. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. The Giants on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They're going to look to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Detroit! Detroit!
That one looks like he'll throw here. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cowboys add on.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Dallas, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the Washington Redskins. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Money back.